Kirby. How's it going, Mr. Potman? I don't know, Kirby, how's it going yourself? Pink orb man? Alright. I'm doing pretty well. I gotta get some groceries today, so I got a bunch of fruit. I love fruit. I feel like I binge eat fruit. Like, if it came down to it, I could be like whatever a fruit version of a vegetarian is. I really like fruit. And I got some corn. Fruit and corn, man. It's a combo that you didn't think would be amazing, but it is. Like corn off the cob with some like strawberries as like a dessert. It's the best. Alrighty. Dun, 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 dun. Get this bumping just a little bit. You just want to hear it. Nothing too crazy, you know? Get that over there. It's okay, Kirby. I was just asking how you were doing. Was it glitched on my side or your side? Oh. There we go. You guys ready? Camera A. Wait, no. Not supposed to see that yet, guys. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, why did that do that? There we go. Okay. You guys ready? Pottery shelf. Green on. Hey. Welcome. 3 more pots right behind me. We're gonna get into it. But before I do that, good morning, chili dogs. What you focus on grows. Feed them horses. All right, so we're gonna get back into this here. So I'm gonna turn off the green screen here. So I'm gonna evaporate in a second. But before I do that, let's wheel. All right. Oh yeah. Green off. Green off. There we go. I gotta turn this camera on. I'm gonna swap over to camera C. Alrighty, guys. Looking for the cord to plug in my keyboard. Recently I got a wireless keyboard. Oh my gosh, it changed the game. Not down here, but on my editing computer, I got a wireless keyboard. But anyway, here we go, guys. Hold your breath. Camera B. Get some water. Push this down. A little bit of water. Push this in. Right up. Take a breath. He showed up when I was doom scrolling after I woke up from a nightmare. I'm glad I could help you quit doom scrolling. I'm telling you, doom scrolling is a real thing. We're gonna get like studies on this one day, like from some smart person that's a science guy, and he's gonna be like, doom scrolling back in 2024 was a pandemic, you know? Alright, but anyway, camera A. Oh, why did it play that again? Guys. Sorry. L streaming moment. Alright, here we go. I feel like half the things that I see in doom scrolling is not even things that I like. You know what I mean? Like, people call it brain rot or whatever you want to call it, but it's not even things I like. I don't even know how it happens the way it does, you know? I follow, like, I try to follow, like, pottery stuff, and I like pottery things, but there's, like, zero pottery stuff on my algorithm, you know? Like, how many of you, like, were watching or like pottery things, and I showed up because of that? I guarantee you it's, like, not that at all. Right to the bottom. All right, camera C. Tilt this to the side just a little bit. Get ready. Hammer fist right on top. All right, I'm gonna smooth this out. It's already pretty centered, but we wanna get it perfect, right? So all you're gonna do is push down and slowly walk this out to the side here. There you go. And why is that getting it centered? Clay, off-centered, is coming out to the edge as you're pulling your fist down and out, right? Clay comes around. If you got your elbow here supported and your wrist supported, and it's hitting this moment here and it's not moving, right? You shouldn't have your arm shaking. If your hands are shaking, usually it's not shaking the way, or if your hands are moving, the clay's gonna be moving and not the way that you want, right? Okay, thumbs on the inside here, check for rabbits, no rabbits. Get some water on the inside here. Right? Yeah, I feel like a lot of things, you know, like a lot of people probably don't have art stuff. All my stuff is related to art, related or stand-up comics. Interesting. Mine's all like anime funk edits. I feel like because I was like following a bunch of funk music for a lot of my personal edits, now I just see nothing but anime, like Rock Lee goes ham edits, you know? I also have a lot of cat videos. Like I always see, I'm not a big cat guy, I'll be honest, guys, you know, but I have tons and tons of cat videos. I'm gonna take my finger and I'm gonna cut through this edge using the tip of my finger, cutting outwards, right? It should feel like butter. But I'm not a cat guy, but there's this like cat video person that I always see. It's a cat with like 2 legs that's like jumping around on 2 legs. I'm like, what the heck? Kind of looks like a dinosaur. All right, anyway, our friend of the stream is coming back, guys. What's up, guys? It's me, Llama. We're gonna get in to another volcano poll here. We haven't really done a lot of polls recently, right? Because this is the first part of the day. So we're gonna get right into it here. Let's go. Camera B. So I pinch on here and it's like 2 lanes of traffic. The llama's coming back towards me, whereas my left hand is pushing away forward. And it's that push and that pull going across center, right? That's gonna make your volcano here. Dun, 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 dun. Olin Nolan, big fella slinging some clay. Love to see it. Focusing on anything unique in today's slate? Nope, just more trees. Always trees every day. I'm almost at a year. But you're gonna take your thumb or your knuckle here and you're gonna push in. Voice activated camera switches. Yep. And so watch, I'll show you. Camera C. There you go. Color this in a little bit. How do I change it? Yeah, with my voice. John says he loves the llama. Thank you, John. I'm glad you like the llama. The llama is my favorite part. You know, I can't even remember when I first started doing a llama. It was probably maybe like half a year ago I started it. What's camera A? Camera A. That's camera A. Now watch this. Wedging table. All right, and then wheel. Wheel. There we go. So I'm pushing down at the base again, slowly walking this in. Always slow towards that base. And then we gotta ask the clay, hey clay, do you got a quest for us? The clay says, yeah, I got a quest for you. Take this bump to the top of the pot here, right? Right to the top of rim. And this little bump, you wanna lift it like a baby bird. They call it a pole, but it's more of a lift. When you get to the top, lessen up that pressure, go a little bit slower. There you go. Kiss that rim. You got a pole there, right? A little bit of water again on that top. Anything unique with the trees? Today, I don't know. We'll probably try to do something. I feel like the last couple of days I haven't really been getting some good height. And so maybe I'll try to get some taller trees today. Really depends though. Have you ever, do you ever have to change the things you say to avoid changing cameras? No, not too often. Maybe like when I first started I did. But I try to use like random things, right? Like when the intro, I try to make it sure. Usually when I used to say wheel, it would act really funky because I have another one that says let's wheel, you know? And so then I was like, oh, whoa, I gotta change those two because they kept interacting with each other. Okay, so that pole was trying to maximize the height. You know, it's getting pretty thin, so it's starting to get wobbly. Get some of this water out of here. Kid Catastrophe said, been a fan for 3 days now. I'm getting back into craft. Rock on. Thank you, yo. If you ever post anything, let me know. Post it on your channel, I can check it out. Have you guys, oh, you know what I wanted to ask you guys? Have you ever seen the knights versus gnomes trend that's going on right now? I feel like it's really cool. I don't know if it's too cringe. I haven't really investigated it that much. Let me know. But I actually think it's some good vibes, some good energy. And I heard there's gnomes, there's knights, and then there's wizards. I feel like I want to join this little trend and make a video of me as like one of the wizards. But here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You might be asking, why am I whispering? We don't want to scare the clay. The clay is a very, I don't know, what's the word that starts with an F? Fickle thing. It's a very fickle thing. So sometimes if you speak too loud, the clay's gonna freak out, right? So here we go, right on the inside here. Slowly bring this out. Camera B. Kiss that round. There you go. So we got a tall twist here. So that means we gotta have something going on right here, right? John says, oh yeah, I love that trend. Someone says, I say jump on in. I'm gonna crack your back? You mean because I'm whispering? That's so funny. Yeah, you know, I think it'll take me a couple days. I hope I don't miss the trend though. You know, just need a day where I can like make a little wizard outfit. And I need somebody to help me film, you know. But I do like the music. It reminds me of Dungeon Synth, if you guys know anything about Dungeon Synth. I've done a couple of streams where I listen to Dungeon Synth in the back. Alright. A little bit of pinky right underneath this edge here. Slowly walking this up. There we go. What trend? You never heard of the gnomes versus knights trend? Oh, you gotta look it up. It reminds me of like when I was a kid and me and my buddies, we would like hang out with like our Lego guys, right? And we'd like take our Lego guys like around, and there'd be like a little like forest or like trees in the backyards and stuff, and we'd like pretend like they were going on an adventure. The gnomes versus knights thing kind of reminds me of that same kind of mentality, you know? Has this essence of, it's like alluding to, in my opinion, alluding to like childhood curiosity and adventure, right? So I feel like when you were a kid, everything was like crazy. Okay, so we're gonna take these tendrils and we're gonna walk these up. Oh, you're a noble, you're a knight. You're team knight instead of team gnome? What about the gnomes though? I'm kind of team gnome, I'll be honest. I feel like they're kind of wacky. The knights, I feel like most of the people who do the knight trend, they're like try-harding, you know, like you see them and they have like literally a full knight suit. I'm like, dang. Meanwhile, the gnomes have like paper hats. I feel like gnomes are like the rats, you know? So we did 5 tendrils on this one. Just giving something a little bit more interesting in that bottom part there, because you know, I think sometimes if you have a really tall moment here with nothing happening, it looks a little bit, what's the word? Like dead. The pots look a little bit dead. What are you making? Is it a vase? Looks beautiful. What's the inspiration behind the name? My name, Pottery Demon, or the name of the tree forms? Because these are my tree forms, and they're not really functional objects, right? They're all for building up the callus on the mind. I've been doing them every day. Here, camera C. So these are only the ones I've done maybe in the past like couple months, right? So I have all these ones, maybe like past 2-3 months. Then I have like 7 months of pots upstairs, like I have one room that's totally just filled with them, you know, but these are my ones down here. And I have got rid of all the furniture in my living room and dining room to account for more of the pots, right? So I got rid of all the furniture just so I could have them. That's what the video or the thing where I say camera A, strong mentality. Alrighty. Somebody asked me, what's the inspiration behind the name Pottery Demon? And so it's all about this idea, right? For a long time, like when you wake up in the morning, let me set the stage, you know? You wake up in the morning, what's the first thing that happens? All of a sudden, you know, you're sleeping. You wake up, right? And you're like, oh, get out of bed. You start walking out of here, you know? And then you hear the bed, it says, come back, comfort is over here. And then you go, right? And so what I've found is that that's the demon, right? The demon is the thing that whispers comforts to you, right? Because it's preventing you from going out and doing the thing that you find is valuable. Comfort is the thing that pulls you away from that, right? And so I call that the demon, right? And so pottery is the thing that I'm using to distance myself and to conquer the demon, right? And so the name Pottery Demon, that's the origin of it. But why would people just think demon and think I'm like a Satanist or something, you know? But it's more like it's a reminder every single day when I do this of that demon that's lurking, you know? You keep that demon in the light, right? You always have that in your mind, and so you know when it pops up, right? Then there's moments now where when your body's making this impulse to go, you can sit with your mind. Your mind can be like, no, hold on, get back to it, go find value. Okay, here we go. Camera C. Camera C. Camera B. And there we go. All right, guys, here we go. A little bit of water on there. Push our hand in. That left hand's pushing forward. That right hand's slightly pulling back. And there you go. 1. Get some more on there. Ah, thanks, John. I appreciate it. All right. Some more water. Right down to the bottom. Camera A. Oh my gosh! I did it again, guys! Oh my lord. I'm telling you, I need to make sure, I need to fix that after the stream that it automatically shuts off. Because when I change the video before shutting it off, it gets all messed up here, right? So wherever that wobble is, you saw that twist, and then slowly walk that back up to your hand. Whenever you feel it's dry, get it towards center again, and tilt it back over. And there you go. Right down to the bottom. Get ready to transition your hand. So watch my right hand shifts in front. Get ready, and then I can pull this back up. All right? Why is everybody spamming the eggplant emoji? Camera C. Hammer fist coming over on the top here. Again, right to the bottom, slowly pulling this back towards yourself. And again, that pulling back is what's going to get this nice and centered there. Take your 2 thumbs, open this up. Check if there's any rabbits. No rabbits, okay. Get some water on the inside. Taking your 2 fingers right down. And slowly pull that back. Remember, it's almost like you're scratching against the chalkboard. It should feel like butter that you left out the night before, right? Was the water once clear in here? Yeah, I mean, it was once clear. I mean, you just kind of get it dirty when you're doing it. What's a rabbit? The rabbit is those little air pockets and stuff, you know? And so sometimes the air pockets, you know, they'll form and you just want to pop them. So that's what I mean when you're looking for the rabbits, right? And then over here, hey guys, it's me, friend of the stream, the llama here. We're gonna get right into it with another volcano bowl. You ready? Camera B, right down to the base. And again, slowly pinch. Left hand walking back, right hand pushing forward. There we go. honestly, creating something just for the sake of creating is so freeing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really think about creating that much, right? Like the objects are just like a placeholder for investment of your one's time, right? And so like I don't think of making as like a freeing thing. Like making is for me it's kind of like a battle, you know, where it's like I come down here and I throw every single day, and I don't really like to throw. I don't even like ceramics that much, right? But it's the thing that gives me a lot of value, right? And so I continue to come down here and I keep on making, right? Is it just me, or is the head camera getting anyone else a little dizzy? Interesting. Yeah, I don't really have a good way to make it not bounce around on my head. I'd have to get like a head gimbal that keeps it still. Right down to the bottom. Grab your knuckle. Slowly bump this in. You're gonna see this little bump here. And the key is to walk this up. I'm getting a little bit thin on that top, so I gotta be aware of that, right? Call this in just a little bit here. John asked if I'm afraid of spiders. I hate spiders, yo. Again, a little bit of water on the inside. How often do you get clay in your hair? Trying to get into pottery? I get clay in my hair probably every day. Yeah. The ends of my hair are really dead because of that. Alright, so pushing in and slowly asking that clay for this little bump. Clay gives us this bump. We're going to slowly slow down our wheel just a little bit. And remember, you know, this is like a quest that's given to us from the clay. And we're going to take this quest and we're going to be slow and methodical. We're checking all the corners, all the walls to see if they're, you know, a fog wall that will lead us to find some treasure, right? And like a slug, we're going to get to the top there. There you go, right? Ross Collins says, "What's up, dude? Hope you're doing well. This one looks delicious." Thanks, Ross. I'm glad you think so. And your hair. Like getting clay in my hair? I get it on my hair all the time. Problem of cracks. Any tips to prevent cracks? Like on just the form itself, or, you know, why? What is that, like, is it from like a drying thing, you think? Or like cracks can happen for so many reasons. Are you like putting a handle on the side it's cracking? If you give me some more context clue, maybe I could help. Yeah, the ridges are, I really do like the ridges as well. Cracks should have to do with too much. It really depends though, you know? Okay, so here we go. Take a breath. And walk this up. 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 Yeah, walk this up. Slowly twist this out. And something that we didn't like about the last one maybe is we want this to twist in a little bit more. So we're going to project that clay on this inside. So we're stretching that out on that bottom a little bit. So hopefully when I go to twist this down, a little bit of water on the inside here. It's getting kind of thin there. Be careful. Hook our fingers and kiss that rim. We got a little bit of a lean on this one, right? And so you can see right there, I didn't go up far enough on one of the twists. Right there. So it's leaning a little bit. So what do you got to do when you get that, right? You got to lay into that a little bit, right? Somebody asked if I ever tried blowing glass. I've tried once, but I wasn't really good at that one, right? Like, I realized that you usually need a couple of people, and nobody wanted to be in the studio as long as I did, so ceramics was the thing that I could do more solo. What other artsy stuff do I do other than pottery? I used to be really into charcoal drawing. That was what I did for a really long time. Yes, mainly doing my mugs and pots. The handles would crack off during the firing. I would say first I would look at the handle, right? And so if the handle snapped off, and a main thing I think a lot of people don't go when they're slipping and scoring, they're not scratching, they're not using their needle tool and scratching deep enough in that connection point. You also want to make sure that those 2 points, or the 2 things that you're connecting, are pretty equal in moisture level, and make sure you use some nice thick slip when you're attaching, and then you want to wrap it for like a day, so then you're allowing that wet clay to sort of equalize between the handle and the cup. And then after that, some people will wax the connection point, but I don't think you need to go that far. So maybe try that out and then tell me if it works for you. Alright, a bit of water around this bottom edge here. It'd be cool to put a plant in it. This is really cool, makes me want to start doing pottery. Thank you. Can we see the inside? Yeah, sure. Camera C. Camera C. We got our little, so that's that interior there, right? Everybody always says it looks like a doom bucket. To me, it kind of looks like a vortex, right? It seems like, or maybe like an eyeball or something, It's kind of weird on the inside there. All right. Camera B. You ready? Take a breath. There we go. We got 5 little petals right on the bottom there. And so I always think that, the bottoms of the trees are really important, right? I like to have them look, have a pattern down there, but usually if some stuff gets wonky on the top, you want to make sure that bottom, is pretty nice and tight, right? Camera C. All right, you guys ready for a pottery edit? You. Goated 1. Sorry guys, my foot pedal got a little bit too far away. You guys ready? Get the last one here. Pottery shelf. Pottery shelf. Camera B. I would encourage you to make the trees. And somebody asked how many edits do I have? Probably like 150 ready to play, and I have them randomized every time I say that word. this back a little bit. But somebody asked me what encouraged me to make all these. I was always making things, right? But for me, I wanted to build confidence, right? And I wanted to build that callus in my mind. So I thought that just throwing every single day, recording and posting, would be a good test to my mind, right? A lot of people think intensity is like something that like only sports people can do, but intensity can also happen in other manifestations, right? Tilt that forward and then down. Camera C. Grab your hammer fist right down to the top. Do you plan on selling the trees? No, not right now. Maybe I'll sell stuff one day, but for now, I think you got to be careful when you start trying to monetize your stuff. You know, you can get lost. The content can lose focus because you're trying to make money, right? And so first, I think you got to hone your content like a fine blade, right? Before you start doing that other stuff. Somebody said literally earthbender. I like that, yo. I always thought they were the coolest in Avatar: The Last Airbender. How do you clean the clay out of your clothes, assuming the washer wouldn't like that very much? Well, the thing is that usually any clumps I kind of break off, right? But if it's just this stuff, right? If you let it dry completely, that's the key, is letting it dry, it will literally just dissolve, right? And it's so thin it won't get like clogged. The biggest thing you want to make sure is you don't want to get clumps. Like clumps are like the doom, right? Of any sink area. But here, cutting through this back here. Alright, thanks for stopping in, David. I appreciate it. Bro, how is it possible to have that many edits? Haha. Well, it's just because I was doing just the edits every day. Before I started doing the streaming every day, when I was still doing the pots every day, I had to find something to do with them. And so I was posting them through edits. Alright. Oh yeah, guys, I forgot. What's up, guys? Friend of the stream, Llama. We're here for one last time today because we already have 3 pots getting in the making here. One more volcano. Let's go. Ooh. Right down to the base. Camera B. Camera B. Dun, 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 dun. John says, I feel like those edits will get lots of like on Instagram. No, bro, because my Instagram is not popping at all. You'd think so. I spend a lot of time on those edits, but it's usually the things of me, like, for example, the thing of me eating clay, or just things that you'd think that wouldn't really get views, gets all the views, where the things you spend the most work on usually get nothing, right? But I'm sure if I did some new pottery edits, probably do maybe out of all of them, I try to do maybe 3 or 4 in between all of these streams that I do a month, maybe. It's okay. It's not a shame. I like making them. I watch them on replay, bro. I love watching them. Somebody says, I love your outlook on monetizing products. I did the same with figures and made in Blender and printed it and lost a lot of passion for it. Now I just do them for fun. Never been happier. That's awesome, yo. Macaroni Crusader. That's a really good name. Alright. Push them right at the bottom here. And we're noticing that there's a lot of like really off-centered moments in this. So we're going to slowly walk this up. Maybe we're going to slow down a little bit when we get to the top here. And we're going to be careful that we don't put too much tension on the top. And so that bottom doesn't falter, right? So get that a little bit smoother. Weird question, but you ever try throwing something blindfolded? Does it sound stupid or impossible or potentially a cool experiment? I would do it, but it's a thing that I feel like a lot of like art school teachers do, right? Or like a lot of like people who want to make pottery seem like a lot like cooler than what it actually is. They'll like be like, today, you know, we're gonna throw with blindfolds on, right? And then make it seem like it's really like special to throw with a blindfold, where it's just like a thing, you know. But I think that they're trying to just capitalize off people being like, I gotta throw blindfolded, so then that they come back for another thing. Like, I'm like really anti like scheme or scam your like students, right? Like, you gotta, if you're a teacher, you really gotta make sure you're like trying hard to like teach them, right? And I feel like you'd be better off practicing more of just throwing unblindfolded than blindfolded, right? But I can see like why people would say the blindfolding thing could be interesting. But yeah, I feel like it's better to see first what your hands are doing when you work with it. Oh, people have done that. Yeah, no, it's all good. I might have sounded like a hater. I'm not a I just think that if you're taking a class, like, you gotta make sure that you're teaching people the stuff. I think that the blindfold thing is more of like a fun experiment, right? Not really, I don't think you learn that much from it, right? A little bit of water. Okay, good. All right, again, we're gonna go right down to the bottom here. We got one more pull, we gotta be careful. Again, we're gonna be chill on the bottom, always chill on the bottom. Slowly allow that finger on the top, drift up above. And so it's getting really, really thin. And so it's gonna get wobbly here. But hopefully we can get some nice height. And we're not gonna freak out. We're just focusing on what's happening on the top. The bottom stuff, it doesn't really matter. You can smooth that all out later. So pretty thin there, but you can see we got too thin and we're getting a little bit wobbly. So if you wanted to fix that, you would just take a wooden rib and get rid of all those lines. But I think the lines here are kind of pretty, right? Like, I think that they, what they do is they reflect your pull, right? And so I always say, I don't really want to get rid of that. That's information on how it was made. A lot of people get rid of that because they think it looks like ugly or something, right? But I think it's kind of cool. It's giving you some information on the object itself, right? All right, my hand's kind of pushing against the wall at the bottom. I'm trying to get a lot of this water out. Okay, here we go. Right to this base, and okay, so that, walk that twist up. You're gonna twist just that top, just a little bit, and then push it down just a tad. Get ready, we gotta be careful. Slowly out, kiss that rim. There we go. Okay, so we wind this one up pretty tight, you know? And so for me, this one really gives it that like tree-like quality. So the more narrow and twisted, you'll see this in comparison to some of the other ones at the end. But to me, like when you walk this up, they look really tree-like, right? Obviously, you can see some of the inconsistencies of when I bring this up. And also, do you see how it's tilting to one side? Gotta watch out for that, right? So even when it moves just a little bit, right? You gotta be like on your game to catch it when it's ready. That's all you do, is you gotta twist it a little bit and shake it down, and you're good, right? And so usually with ones that have fallen once, they're gonna wanna keep falling. So always keep your eye on it, bro. So shake it a little bit. There we go. Somebody said this is the third time catching this live at the exact moment of creation, laugh out loud. That's interesting. I feel like if it happens a fourth time, you gotta start making pottery. Okay, so again, being careful, looking at if it's leaning at all, because this one's really, really, really thin there, right? Somebody says, do I teach classes? If so, where at? I just can't really talk about that, you know? But I teach at 4 different art centers, you know, so I get to teach a lot of different groups of people. But yeah, I don't think I'm really allowed to talk about that stuff. This is the second time I've seen this live from the same person, same sentence. Like I said, the same exact word. That's interesting. Oh, dude, this thing is making me nervous. Do you see how it just wants to just dive? It wants to just nose dive to that one direction. Every rotation is just emphasizing it, emphasizing it, emphasizing it. Bro, chill, chill. Get back in the middle. Bad. And I think with these ones, we got to do a nice double tendril. I think that's going to look really nice on something like this. So we're going to do one, right to the side, and out. And so there's already a gesture to the pot, right? So we got to play with that gesture using the tendrils here, right? So take these up. Slowly walk this up. The key with the tendrils is you want to touch them as little as possible. And maybe we curl this around right on the top here. Just like that. So how's that look, guys? So we got one right there, right? And so we're going to take the other one, and we want them to almost interact with each other, because that's how you take the pattern of the tendrils and start making them look more like appendages, right? So here you go. Right up to the top. Curl this around, and again, right underneath this top edge here, maybe have it chilling out just like that. Really baking some gesture into the pot here, kind of like distancing itself from pottery vernacular, right? And getting more, touching more into maybe sculpture, right? Dun, 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 dun. Go. There we go. Do you only teach old people? I teach all sorts of people, right? Like I like my longest drive is an hour, so I teach literally all, at least in my mind, a wide variety of like ages and different cultures of individuals, right? So it's pretty fun, you know. Like sometimes you go into class and you can tell like you got some, like, maybe you got some well-behaved kids and you're like, all right, dudes, let's make some dragons. And they're like, sick. And then another group, you say, let's make some dragons. They just say, F you. You know, so it's kind of fun. And then sometimes, since I'm a younger dude, like older people, I think have a hard time taking advice from me sometimes, right? Or they think less of my pottery knowledge, right? Which is fine. You know, you're gonna have to deal with that with old people all the time, so it's not really a big deal. But anyway, we're gonna get over there, so I'll give you guys another pottery edit. So goated 1. Oh, sorry guys. I like how somebody could tell my voice was muted. Thank you, I appreciate it. Camera A. We got the last one over here. So you can see that one, it got too thin and it ripped, right? And so a lot of people would say, oh, yuck, get that out of here, right? But what I've realized is actually sometimes the most beautiful ones are the ones that have something interesting about them in context to the other ones, right? Not all of them, but if you have, 10 of them that kind of fall apart like that, usually one of them will turn out better than the others, right? And so why is that? And so that's part of the little game you have to play with the materials, find out why some things look good and why some things don't. Alright. So I'm looking, the top one looks a little bit out of focus, so I'm going to change the focus real quick. I think I got to go down a little bit, right? There we go. And then I'm going to hop over here. Guys, I need you guys to share some energy with me. I'm lacking some energy right now. I need some energy. Green on. Hello, guys. Thank you for the energy. You've given me the power to shrink myself down to the size of the pots. Now I can talk about them. So we're going to start off with this one right here. This is the one that we just finished. I think this one is definitely the winner of the day. There's something about how tight that twist is where it really starts selling itself as a tree. It distances itself so much away from pottery and more into the realm of sculpture, more so than the other ones, I feel like, right? I have the two tendrils on the side, giving it a little bit of a gesture, and I think this one's really a winner. Then we got this one over here. So this one right here, I'm kind of liking what's going on in this top part, right? I think that kind of looks interesting where it falls forward. When the rim falls forward, and it almost gives the pot like a direction to look at, right? And that rim is a framing device for that spiral that I showed you guys on the interior last time, right? So if I go over to wheel, can you guys see that spiral, right? So it invites the viewer to look at something that is interesting on the inside of the pot. Usually the insides of the pots aren't something that people even think about, right? And so for me, they become a moment to highlight. Anyway, we got the one on the top, and so we got this one right here. I think this one is more of a normal one, just some petals on it. The twist is kind of nice, nothing too crazy. I think you always got to have the mundane to highlight the extraordinary. Thank you so much for watching. All the best, and strong mentality. You like the broken one the most? I just think it kind of looks cool, right? And look at its tearing, that middle part is tearing. I mean, it might fully rip off, right? The thing is, once it starts ripping, I've noticed that the least you try to baby it and try to fix it, the better it usually looks. And sometimes you can add parts like little flowers, like I make these little pottery flowers and I add them on there. All right. You like the left one? Yeah, the left one I think is pretty good. There we go. All right, guys. Well. Alright guys, well that's it from me. If you guys have any questions, I'll play one more pottery edit and then I'll look at the chat, and if no more questions, I'm gonna head off and I gotta start editing, okay? Alright, so again, goated 1. Alright, so I think somebody had something, a question, do I have a store? Nope, I don't sell any of my work right now. Thank you so much for the chill vibe, see you later. Thank you so much. Oh, Miwa, I remember you were saying that like maybe a couple streams ago that it was really late and then you were staying up to watch, right? I feel like I remember you then. Why is that so fast? It was just a pottery edit. The edits are way too loud for the stream sound levels. Okay, I'll fix that in the future. Have I ever fired or glazed any of these? Nope, I haven't fired a single one. They're just camera or pottery shelf. Pottery shelf. That's just, they just sit there. That's really it. John, do you remember names? Yeah, I think I remember you, John. You were once a stream hater, right? If I do not mistaken myself. But I'm glad you came around, bro. I keep asking why you prefer not to fire work. Yeah, I don't fire my work. Well, it's just I don't really have a place to fire it. This kiln, I live in an apartment, right? So I can't fire this kiln. And the place that I work, they said they wouldn't accept me, bringing in like 1,000 something pots to fire, right? And so for now, they just kind of sit there, which is fine because it's not about the end goal of it, right? It's about the actual process of it, right? Do you have plans for any of your works? Oh, I got a lot of plans, but sometimes you got to keep those plans like inside your brain so you can manifest them first. A lot of people, I think they talk about the plans, right? Too soon, like especially big plans, too soon, and in doing so, they actually get the idea out, right? They're not like mulling over it. I like when the ideas, they kind of like prey on your mind, and when you're trying to just relax, all of a sudden that idea is just like clawing away, and it's just, come on, work on it. I like that a little bit. Can you do a break dance? Can I do a dance break? I haven't really done today's not the vibe for the dance break. I'm sorry. Uh, oh, John says no. It must have been another person named John then. So don't worry, John. You're okay. Oh, maybe he said maybe? Interesting. Where do you want to live? I would love to live in the middle of the woods. I have a baseball rule that I can't, if I throw a baseball as hard as I can, it can't hit a neighbor's house, right? And so I could really like bump some music, be loud, and do my own thing. But right now I got to be pretty tame just because I'm in a apartment. How long have I been doing pottery? I've been doing pottery for 4.5 years, almost 5 years now. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live? Probably in Ohio, South Ohio, near like the Hocking Hills area, just out in the middle of the woods in a hilly area with like little caverns and stuff. Are you local to Ohio? Born and raised in Ohio. Not born, but I spent a lot of time in Ohio. I want to go back. Is this actually live? Nope, it's not live. Okay. I don't think I ever loved the streams ever since I seen them. Okay, then it's a different John. If you ever see another John with a blue icon, he's the hater, you know? Less talking, more pots, please. I'm done making pots for the day. I already made my 3. So, that's kind of it. I'll be back tomorrow. I stream every day, so. From Ohio? Yo, you shouldn't be telling people where out in Ohio you're from, yo. I see pottery stuff and can't lie, looks very amazing, but is it reasonable way to make money? Just wondering if it could be my life job. I don't make any money from doing the pots. Like throwing all these, I don't make no money doing all the streaming. I don't make no money doing it. I only make money from like my teaching stuff, you know? I was wondering if someone wants to see a dance break. You guys are so funny, yo. Bro said he isn't in the mood. Somebody says it's not live. Okay. How much pottery do you think you've made in your lifetime? Maybe like 7,000 pots? Can you do a dance break tomorrow? If the music's hype, I'll do a dance break. I can promise you that. Sometimes if the music is just hype enough, it just calls you. Thank you. Same time? Shit, it's late. I'll come say hi if I have another nightmare. I mean, I stream at all different times. It's whenever I don't have work, I'll probably get home and stream. Right? Like, sometimes I work in the morning, sometimes I work really late at night. I meant your sarcasm was funny. Oh, I see what you mean. Do you lay on clay? Why so dirty? A lot of people use like rugs and all sorts of other things, but for me, I don't have my outfit on for the day until I'm covered in clay. That kind of rhymed. That actually could be hype. What type of music hypes me up? Funk music. Somebody said they're completely hammered. Just arrived home from the club, and your live stream just popped up in my feed. I can throw one more pot for you guys then. Let's do that. You guys are being pretty nice. Just continue to talk to me. Sometimes I forget that I just won't edit this stuff into this. Will just be stream exclusive. Do we like this vibe? I think we need a new vibe. Vibe shift. Camera C. Let's go. Let's wedge this up here. So this is what I mean. Once they get dry enough, they just pop right off the wheel, so I don't even wire them off, right? Alright, guys. I'll make this one quick. When can I get pottery lessons in Ohio? Whenever I move back. I'm going to take over the pottery scene in Ohio. That's what I want to do. What's on my head? A head camera. Whoop. Get that out of here. Alright. After this, guys, really, I gotta head out, okay? So you guys ready? Alright, you guys ready? Camera B. Camera B. Green off. Sorry about that. Thanks for doing another one. for the drunk people just wanting to see pots being made. Well, it seems like a lot of people just started coming in and asking me about throwing, and then somebody was like, you know what, how come you're not throwing another one? So for me, I'll do another one. Why not? I'll do 4. All right, again, one more time. You guys ready? Camera A. Oh, come on. Guys, you gotta get rid of that. Again, dude, that happened 4 times this stream where I forgot to turn off the video. Okay, so where were we? Slow motion. Bring that up. I need to get an abort command for sure. Alright, you guys ready? Camera C. Right down to the bottom. Alright, key right here. Make sure you're locked in. Your elbows right to your hip bone. You're like a crane. You're like a machine. Take your fist right on the top. Slowly walk this back. All that off-centered clay right into your hand. Great. Here we go. Check for rabbits, guys. Spring. Or I guess it's summer now. What's in there? No rabbits? Great. Have some water in there for the tadpoles. They can't be drying out in the pond, right, guys? Right down to the bottom. Who's the best villain in all of movie history? That's right. Captain Hook. So grab your hook, cut it right around that bottom there, and slowly walk this out. Right? Should feel like butter that you're cutting through or scratching against the chalkboard. Gotta turn this down a little bit. It's too much of a vibe. And then we got our favorite friend of the stream. You guys ready? What's up, guys? You thought we were only doing 3 pots. You were right, but we had one drunk individual come in and ask for another one, so here we go. Ready for another volcano pole. Camera B. Camera B. Slowly walk this in. And like Squidward always says, guys, Krakatoa. A little bit of water right on the inside there. Get ready to pull this up. Grab your knuckle, push this in ever so slightly. Walk this up, walk this up, walk this up. You're gonna find this little bump. That's the key. That's what you want to find there, right, guys? A little bit lighter on the top. There you go. Okay. Get ready. Collar this in just a little bit. All right. A little bit more water right on that bottom there. You guys ready for another pull? You gotta ask the clay, hey, Clay, I got a question for you, buddy. Yeah? What is it? Do you have something for me? A quest? Possibly a bump? I could take it to the top. And the clay says, sure thing, pal. Right over here, right to the bottom. You're gonna slowly push that base in, and you're gonna walk that finger on the inside up just a little bit. There's that bump. Once you find that bump, don't let it go. That's your best friend. You know, they call this a pull, more of a lift. Lift that baby bird up into the sky, ready to fly away. Like a slug, climbing to find his next meal. Moving as fast as he can, but he's only just a slug. Right to the top there. There you go. There you guys go. Here we go. Yo, that bump and the walking emoji. Yo, that's lit. Actually, that's really cool. All right. A little bit of water right on the bottom here. All right, here we go, guys. Get ready. A little bit more louder. Here we go. A bit of water. You guys ready? And then right out. Bring it to this edge right when it's about to collapse. Slowly hook that finger on the inside. Pull this up and a little bit in. Ooh, it's tilting. There we go. Keeping our eye on it kind of reminds me of a tree that you'd see in a video game that's that area is maybe like arid savanna, right? Okay, right down to the bottom. So we got our tree cooking up, guys. People always say, what type of things do you make? Do you make pots? You make cups? You make vases? You make plates? No. I make trees. Okay. You're right on this bottom edge here, slowly walking this up. And we're gonna do some tendrils here. Definitely gonna lean into the double tendril on this one. I think it'll be kind of nice. Get some of that water out of there. Get ready. Grab your wire tool. Wire tool's coming down. Double tendril. Cut into it. Walk it out. Bring it back. If you cut off some clay here, don't really worry about it too much. Just keep on cruising, right? As soon as you slow down and you're thinking about what you're doing, that's when all those inconsistencies, that's when all the failures start coming to light. Right down to the bottom. Grab this. I always say, if you want things to turn out nice in pottery, touch them as little as possible. Bring this up. Bring this up. And maybe we want this one to come around and sit right here on this edge here. And look at that. So we got something kind of funky happening here. You guys will see it in a second here. And again, we're going to walk this one over. And maybe want this one to interact with each other on this side, right? Perhaps we want it to come over, up, and right next to the first one, right? And so look at that. So now you gave so much personality to the pots, really laying into that motion, laying into that expression, that gesture, right? Breaking away from pottery, entering into the realm of sculpture, right, guys? All right, and somebody wanted me to dance. We'll do that. All right, there we go. You ready? Green on. Gonna get ready for some pottery dance move. You guys ready? Throw the clay down. Pull that clay up. Right up to the top. Down. Pull that clay up. And down. We got one more pottery edit for you guys, so goated 1.